Who's that? I felt like our world did 6 weeks ago. I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, so I asked her, I said, did somebody touch you? Do physical exams, like that kind of things, physical exam there.
Use your schedule. Hello. Hey, hi Helen Stevenson, how you doing? How's everyone doing out there? We have a treat tonight. I was going to talk about anyone that follows the channel, who's been following the channel for a while now. I wanted to come in here and talk about hoodoo and conjure, hoodoo and working with spirits. I'm doing good. And yeah, that's what this live is about today. Do you practice at all, Helen? Hello. I see another person has joined today. Today, I wanted to talk about hoodoo and working with spirits, hoodoo and conjuring, kind of talk about some of the products that we have available. Anyone here? Yesterday, I did a live on the other channel. Today, I'm doing a live here. Yes, kinda. Okay. Okay. So I guess people have different styles. I wanted to talk about that for a minute. So when you conjure, do you just do your thing or do you try to get help from a spirit? Because I'm trying to see how many people that like, are you just doing a spell or are you doing are you getting help from the other side? What is your conjure like? I can talk a little bit about my experience here, what I've had going on. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, please. My first, I probably already shared that here. I'm not sure. But my first time, I think in class, we were working with archangels. And so I was working with Archangel Satiel. They have their day and times and stuff. They can be contacted. So I do my thing. I'm contacting him, but I'm not like getting an answer. I'm not like seeing any signs. I'm looking for the signs, but I'm like not seeing them. And so one night I just pray, like I keep calling his name until I fall asleep. Because I try to have, if you have like, you can control a little bit of your dreams. You can call them, like if you could think about them before you go to sleep, at least 30 minutes or 15 minutes before you go to sleep, most likely you'll have some dream of them. Okay. When you start working with these spirits or archangels. And so in the dream, I knew this was him because it was like this crowd. It looked like it was an airport or whatever. But it was a lot of people around his desk, and you could see this glow over this guy, but you couldn't like see his face. You could see him handing people stuff, and you could see it's just like this glow. And so everybody's getting their envelope. He's handing envelopes out. I get my envelope. I look in there. Now he said, "You don't open your envelope. You can't open yours yet." Hi, how you doing? I Thomas 512. Say you can't open your envelope yet. I was like, wow, why can't I? But I kind of peeped in there, but I didn't see what was going on. Yeah, I do a lot. Yeah, that all comes with the territory, Helen. But anyway, I didn't open it up. I didn't know what that was about. I tried to talk to my instructor about it, and I don't think she understood what I was saying. I think thought I was trying to be a smart ass, but I was really not trying to be a smart ass. I was trying to figure out what the dream meant, and I wanted to share my experience with her. But a few days went by, and I kept doing these tarot readings, and this king of hi L'Oreal. Oh, hey L'Oreal. So this king of swords kept coming up. Like, why does he keep coming up? I don't know a king of swords. I don't know any Geminis right now. I just like I don't know what this is. I don't know any Aquarius right now. Um, I just I just was not getting what was going on there. So this happened like 2 or 3 days, and I was just like, I'm tired of these. This is not specific. I don't understand what I'm missing here. And so I was like, I'm just gonna come back to it later. I'm not gonna get myself riled all up about it. So I go in the kitchen. I'm starting to fix me some tea, And all of a sudden, it just hits me. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like, oh, you trying to work, you trying to open your roads. Think about it. You're trying to open your roads. You're trying to go down a path. You're at a crossroads. You need to work with this pop-up elect buff first. And I was like floored. I was like, wow. And I hadn't erected an altar here. I hadn't worked with him in a while, but I didn't think I needed to work with elect buff to work with the archangels. I guess I was mistaken. I don't know what that was about, but that angel, I don't know. That was just odd to me. And so I kind of figured it out, put my altar up. I put my altar up. So these a few weeks I've been working with Elect Bob. I've been at the altar being consistent because he said you be consistent. You be consistent because you just left me there. And I was like, I didn't mean to. I just really didn't think I had the room to put you anywhere in this new place. And so me and him went back and forth with that a little while. And so it's been like a week I've been working with him, calling on this altar. And I hadn't dreamed about him, but I've asked him, Elect Bud, show me that you're working with me. Elect Bud, show me signs. I had seen little signs like the black and red everywhere. People wearing black and red. I had seen little small signs, but I had not had a direct interaction with him. So the other night I had this dream. My daughter, every morning since I've been doing this, I've been having like crazy dreams. So every morning my daughter asks me, she gets home, she said, Mom, what did you dream about? What did you dream about? And this particular day, I almost forgot about the dream, but soon as she came through the door, I knew she was going to ask me about it. In some kind of way, I remembered the dream. It's very odd how dreams happen. They fade in and they fade out. It's very, very odd how dreams do. So she comes in there, and I was telling her about the dream. This dream was so crazy, y'all. This dream was so crazy. I dreamed that I had my kids were small. They were not grown. They were small. I don't know. Usually when I dream about them, they usually be small. That's weird. But anyway, me and my kids went to go see these women. These were some spiritual women or whatever. They were supposed to help me with something. And so I had my dog with me. I don't even have my dog anymore. I have a dog named Scrappy, but I haven't had him in years. And so we get to these people's house and we talking about spiritual stuff or whatever. It's these two women. One of them remind me of my auntie. And so we was really talking to stuff, and we end up, and there was this man there, but he never did say too much of anything. He didn't say too much of anything. So we decided to go like to this fair or something like that, some type of amusement park or something. And so we was at the amusement park, and every time we went somewhere, I would hear this sound go, psh, psh, psh. And I'm like, what is that sound? I'm like, what is that noise? So I look away and I see the man that was at the house. This man is trying to shoot the people that we with. And it's tripping me out because don't nobody hear this sound but me. Nobody hear this silent shooting but me. And I'm like, damn, but he missing them. Because at first I thought he was trying to shoot me. And I was, but he kept missing me. He kept getting missing both of us because it'd be just like as we walk off, he'd miss us just by that much, And I'm like, damn. And so I'm telling them, like, we need to go back home because somebody's shooting at us. This ain't cool. I got my kids with me and stuff. I thought it was going to be chill here. So we get back to the house and the man is there. The man that was shooting at us was there. And I look at her and I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but this dude right here, this is the dude that was shooting at us. I said, I'm finna get my shit and go. I don't know what you got going on around here, but I'm finna get my stuff and go. Me and my kids finna go. I was like, get our dog, because somehow they had a dog, so we bought our dog to play with their dog. So before I left this trip, she opens up her hand. She said, let me not forget to give you what you came for, what we've been working on. She opens up her hand, and it's like this dusty, faded red cloth. And in it, it's like three things. One looks like, it kind of looked like garlic, some type of roots or something. It was some type of herbs or roots or something. She said, choose one. She said, choose one because this the one gonna help you. This the one you gonna need. And I was like, I was looking at them. They look, I can't even describe it. Because only thing I can say, they look like little small garlics. That's what they look like. And so I took one. I was like, damn, well, at least she's still trying to help me. And the man was still in the corner, the man was still in the damn corner looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? The man was still there because I was like, this motherfucker right here is crazy. Y'all got this man in y'all house and he trying to shoot y'all. But he couldn't shoot him though. He kept missing him. He never hurt nobody, but he kept missing us. He was shooting at us. So I go out the house and the kids telling me, hey, mama, we can't find Scrappy. I was like, you can't find Scrappy. I mean, it was a lot of dogs out there. I said, you can't find Scrappy. And they was like, nah, we look for him everywhere, mama. I was like, oh my gosh. And beside this house, it was like this sidewalk, but it looked like a little alley sidewalk because it was like houses on a fence right here. And then these some apartments. You can walk down this little alley sidewalk. That's the only way I can describe it, you guys. So I go to walking down there, and my youngest daughter said, Mom, I think he at that man house. And I was like, what man? That man, them dogs be always going to that man house. And I was like, what man? And she was like, I'll show you, mama. So we go down there, and we walk into this man apartment, this old man apartment. He laying on the couch. I wasn't even scared. The house was dark, but dogs was all over this man house. Dogs was everywhere. So I said, have you seen my dog? He was like, oh, yeah, your dog back there in the back with the rest of the dogs. I was like, I was walking through there. I was like, why this man? I was like, why this man got all these dogs? Got all these dogs in his house or whatever. So I go through there. I'm really calling my dog Scrappy. I mean, he ain't answering. Dogs is everywhere. And so finally I find Scrappy, and he up under a table with two other dogs, two black dogs. He was the only white dog over there. I said, you can't hide. I see you. Come on. Why you didn't come when I call you? And the old man was like, they don't never want to leave me. And I was like, well, he got to leave because we got to go, And so I woke up. I didn't know what that dream meant. But now that I go back and look at it, y'all, I had to say it out loud to get the meaning of the dream. That was Elegba. Elegba loved dogs. He loved kids. The three things that she had in her hands. Hi, how you doing, Dark Goddess? The three things she had in the can, Papa Legba number was 3. Now, if you ask me what I had to write this dream down, I've done a reading on it. I'm still trying to pick it apart. But he did show up in that dream. But I had to say it out loud because I was like, I don't know what the hell that dream was about or who that could have been in the dream. But when I started telling it to my daughter out loud, I was like, oh my God, that was Elegba. All the signs, everything was there. Yeah, so it's a trip when you start working with these spirits and you start asking for a sign that you're working with them. They will show up in your dreams in the most oddest way. They will show up if you can remember. Luckily, Elegba is working through my youngest daughter, and she always asking me. I think he's worked unconsciously because that's how he show up. So luckily, she was here to help me remember that dream because I was going to just dismiss it because it was crazy as hell. I mean, I couldn't figure out why that man was shooting at me. That was tripping me out. I was like, what the hell? And his number, he's like he's communication. So he would show up as an air sign in my reading, the king of air, because he is the king of communication. He is the lord of communication. He communicate in all different languages and all different cultures. Yeah, that's what I said. Girl, when he showed up in my dream, I'm just like, because I'm building our connection back up. But I was asking him like to show me that we did have a connection to show up in my dream. And it's a trip because I was like, I didn't know it is a trip. And then I was trying to ask my instructor that because like I've been a solitaire practice for a long time. I've never like been to a school. It's just been me and the ancestors and reading books on the occult and esoteric knowledge. It's just really been like that. Yeah, I've been to metaphysical school, so but I've never been like to a hoodoo course and seeing what it's about. Even though I've read a lot of occult books and things like that. And so I'm taking this hoodoo course for the first time, and I'm telling my teacher like about this experience. And I wasn't trying to show her up, but she was like, well, she put me in the master class. That's the first thing she asked me. Why aren't you in the master class? I'm like, I didn't know I was supposed to be in the master class. I'm just trying to figure this out. I mean, my question really didn't get answered. I just got moved to another class. But when she did speak to me, it was like, yeah, why aren't you in the master class? Read this, and that. But I just really didn't get any like feedback because I like to hear other people's experiences and see what they got to say. I keep a journal with it's not exactly like a dream journal, but I keep a journal on each spirit I work with. They got their own journal, and I write about my experiences and stuff with them in the journal. But I probably need to put them journals by the bed. But you know how dreams is. Them damn dreams start fading away. I am not lying. To be like smoke. Some of them you be like, oh my God. It's like you be trying to grasp it. If you can grab them, you can just be like, wait a minute, stay right there. Some of they just them. I'm lucky that I remembered that one. I don't really know why I remembered that one, but yeah. Rest of them, I've just been dreaming about family, like being around family. Wow. I heard that dark goddess. I don't have that. I don't think I don't have that, but I do have a unique birthday. I have a very unique birthday, very unique. But that tripped me out. I was like, this guy. He reached out to me, so it's been a journey here. This conjure is different. I remember doing a video one time, and I start, you know, these orbs, start seeing these orbs in my video. So it has been a journey doing this conjure work. It has been a journey, but I was very glad about the Papa Legba experience. I just don't know what to make of it. I'm like, what? Did somebody trying to get after me? Because they never got me in a dream. Is you protecting me from somebody? Because this man never shot me. He never shot anyone in a dream, but he was trying to shoot us. And then these two women were there. Oh, thank you, Dark Goddess. So, yeah. So when you start working with these deities, they will start showing up, in your dream if you want them to. This, for me, this is a different level. Like, it's different like you doing work with your ancestors or whatever. Your ancestors pretty much tell you what to do. You won't really do any work on their altar. They'll just give you something to do. This one is a little bit different because you're making friends with other spirits you can work with. Everything you learn from your ancestors, you're using to work with these spirits. Mm-hmm. Is or you connected with Saturn? I'm not sure. I don't know about that. I have to look at that, but I'm not sure she's connected to Saturn. But yeah, it's been a journey. I think this is just the level up working working with them, getting to know the energy. That's what I'm trying to say. Getting to know the energy. Getting to know but my instructor did say you'll work with some of them, you'll work with some better than the other. But another thing that tripped me out, I told you guys, now you guys know I've read a lot of occult books. Big Mama, yes, she is. I work with a lot of is she? That's why I thought everything was connected to the Great Mother, because I see Oya, Oshun, and Yemaya are the three faces of the Great Mother. That's really, all of them are tied to that, and that's what I was just gonna. That's the topic I was just finna jump on. I was just finna jump on that topic. Uh, especially reading that book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. That book, I don't know. After reading The Great Cosmic Mother, and then I read that book again, you got these men. Melly Paul admits that these men hijack this stuff from women, the pagans, aka the pagans. I'm very interested. Y'all know me, I go down rabbit holes. I go down rabbit holes. I was interested, but since they say they stole these rituals and they modified them, my questions with my autistic mind, how much of it was altered for them? That's what I want to know. And where is the originals? Where are the original rituals? Did y'all just burn them all up? I have so many questions after reading The Secret Teachings of All Ages, and then studying the Kabbalah. At the top of the Kabbalah, you're going through all these sephrits, but at the top of the Kabbalah is Sophia, Shekinah glory. That you're going through all these sephrits just to get to the head to reach this divine wisdom. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm gonna have to check that one out. But I mean, do it got rituals in it? Do it got any type of occult knowledge in it? Because that's what I'm looking for, you guys. Now you don't see many women philosophers or women occultists writings. The only one I've looked at is Helen Blavatsky, and they said be careful with her work because she didn't know English that well, and you might not be able to put a lot of her stuff together. So I've looked through a lot of her stuff, counted her stuff to see if anything jumps out at me. But I mean, I think the craziest part about this is that men, patriarchs, did a very good job of leaving her out of everything. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up then. Yep. I was just having the hardest time with that. And then with school, with this hoodoo class, and I was trying to decolonize. It needs to be more decolonized. I don't know what to say. The things that they're bringing up here. Yes, I know I think that was another thing that made my instructor feel a little threatened. But when people was bringing up, hey, you're saying we're from Africa, but we got ancestors here. And she was kind of a matter of fact, we were from Africa, and it was some people like, nah. And I was like, well, I don't, I feel like they feel, because I've seen Native Americans here. I lived in Oklahoma for almost a year. And I lived in Arkansas all my life. And every time I have bumped into one of them, they have looked like us. I don't know what to tell you. I've seen them. They have looked just like us. Yeah, we talked about that. Dark Goddess. If you guys have not joined Cosmic Mother Ministries, get over there. That's the other YouTube channel. Get over there and join if you're a woman of color. Go over there and join, because I just did a live there last night. I should have posted it here, let you guys know, but I thought all you guys had went over there already. But go over there and join that channel over there, and we'll go more into that. And I kind of talk about that on that channel, Dark Goddess. So if you want to look more into that subject, I shared some pretty good information over there last night. It's called Cosmic Mother Ministries, right here on YouTube. Any ladies, women of color who wants to join it. No, I'm not here every Sunday evening. I was over there yesterday evening, but I can be here every Sunday. This is just the platform for the business and to talk about general stuff. And that platform over there is dedicated to the Great Mother. It's a ministry for the Great Mother. I had to focus a ministry just on that because of this 4B movement. Because of what happened, because you guys know what I told you. I talked about that over there. I guess I have to do a recap here. Guys, I told you what was going to happen with that presidency. Didn't I tell you what was going to happen with that? I told you guys. That's why I've been telling you to get over there on Patreon. I knew that man kept saying in that place, that man kept saying that y'all didn't have to vote. Wow, I'm reading so many books now. I'm like, if it do, it'll probably be what I'm studying in class, because I don't have a lot of room to read books, because in the course that I'm taking right now, we read all the time, and I'm still reading a lot of books on the occult. So maybe I'll share some of that information with you here if I can. Link to what? To the other YouTube, to the YouTube channel. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Can I get it for you? Okay. I'm getting it for you guys. Be patient with me. Am I home? Okay, hopefully this helps here. I'm going to put it in the chat. Okay, I put it in the chat, you guys. Yeah, if I do anything, it is probably be on there, because I've been reading so many books with them. But let me share my experience. And I got to group up with some more women as well. But what can I say? A lot of people want to keep hoodoo like it is, but with our spiritual practice, they always adapt, adjust, and to the person, to the practitioners. And I feel like this course needs to probably be, you're welcome. This class probably needs to be a little bit more colonized. With me, I wouldn't have took that because I'm having to read a lot of this misogynistic stuff. I don't like it. I mean, I'm having to peel this apart by men. I don't know. I think the only parts for me was probably the ritualistic part and knowing that it came from our ancestors, but not focus too much on there, but understanding why it's a closed practice. And I was telling my daughter about this. I was like, I know when I do a class course, I'm going to do it probably totally different. I'm going to do that course because it was too much misogyny in there. We've learned so much. And then a lot of this stuff, our ancestors didn't know how to read it. Some of them didn't know how to read a Bible. You're welcome, Dark Goddess. Yeah. Some of them didn't know how to read a Bible. And so I think the most practical part for me is people know how to do their rituals and connect with the deities that they're trying to work with, their ancestors that they're trying to work with. And it's not been enough emphasis on that, on the experience. I think that's important because it's important if your student is asking you a question about an experience, and if you can offer any type of feedback or experience that you've had and say, okay, that's normal. Yeah, that's going to come up. It's going to come up like that. And see if you can offer any insight or any meaning for the dream, or the experience. I think it's having the reason why, for me, because I'm solitary. I think the reason why we work under someone or want a godmother or a godfather, whoever it may be, is that we want to be what I'm trying to say, very fluent in what we're practicing. We want to master our ritual and working on our table. And so when we come in contact with other people, we're looking for things that would improve our workings. That's a way. That's a good, yeah. She does have many names. I think I started seeing that when I ran upon the archive. And can you believe, out of all those books I've read, I've never, archives never came up. And the archangels come from them. I was just floored. I was beside myself. I was beside myself. I was like, what? And I'm still going down the rabbit hole. I was like, why? Why? Yep. You can also use railroad spikes as well. Yeah. I'm always doing salt at the front door. Mm-hmm. You use railroad spikes. You can use salt. If you on top of it, you got your camphor water and Florida water, and you doing your thing. You getting some. You making sure it's right. But that's what yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, hey, but yeah, I'll come back and do some book reviews here. I was telling my daughter that the other day. She said she keeps dreaming going down the railroad track. I was like, I couldn't think of anything else, you know. It's like it's nothing else I can tell you that dream would mean because you going down this railroad. I don't know what else to tell you, sweetie. But solitaire. You, I think as solitaires we really learn so much. Learning on your own. But it's like we're walking a tightrope. You got to figure out if you're doing it right. Anybody enjoy their Samhain with their ancestors, the Day of the Dead? You doing the ancestral healing? That was the big day right there. I've been dreaming about them a lot. It don't make no sense. Some of it don't make no sense. Can't make sense of it. Or even this full moon. We had a lot of we've been having a lot of energy going on these past few days. Like I told you with Trump that he was going to win that office. Uh, I told you that. And I advise you to go look at that 2025 plan. Very concerned because it's basically around Christianity. Okay, that's good. Be searching and remember you don't have to know all of it. Just do a little bit at a time. That root work because it can be overwhelming learning about these herbs. I did some ritual work with my daughters. I did some ancestral work. I've been really just kind of focused on that because all week long, doing hoodoo work, them altars be hot. Do you hear me? I'm having to go from one altar to the next. Like it is work. It is doing work. Like doing your ritual work, making sure you're building the energy on your altar and working with these spirits. When they say it's work, it's work. I don't see how people. I don't be having time. I'm just letting you know. From going to one altar to the next and doing certain things on each altar. I'm just like I don't have time to be messing around. I got stuff to do. So I can see the work in it because since I've started this course, I got more work to do. But it's fun. I mean, I'm just interested too, like I said, in the archive, how they did those angels, split that up like that, and then call them twin flames. How? What is the ritual for that? How often did y'all do this? I don't know. It's just a lot of questions come to mind. That archive is really, and they're all virtues. I just didn't understand that part. And we were talking about that I think last night on the other channel. And somebody was like saying they were the Canaanite. I say I always thought that they were ancestors, like old kings that were made saints or deified and paired with the original angels. That's the only way I can make sense of it. I don't know, you guys, because I'm just like, you're saying the archive is first, so why are these other but I did find out through reading this. I was doing some research, and it was saying that Melchizedek was a priestesshood, and not a person. The priestesshood of Melchizedek. We were thinking, I always thought it was a person, but no, it's not a person. That's like a high priestesshood or whatever. That was like blowing I was like, are you serious? And it's some other angels in there. When you look at the archive, it's like these are groups. Like you have the virtues, that's a group, but you might have like the one angel might be listed under one group. It's something. I'm like, but I had to find this out somewhere else because it wasn't in any of the occult books that I was reading, and I can't find any book on it. And somebody was telling me it was a book somewhere, but it was like over $20,000. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm just trying to learn this about this, and the book is over $20,000. I was like, it must be some stuff in that book. It's got to be if y'all done priced it like that. So yeah, I don't know, you guys. I don't know, but I'm learning some interesting things in there, and it just leaves open more questions for me as I go down this journey. But it's been cool. I'm learning some stuff, especially with these dreams kicking up the way they is. And if I ain't careful, if I don't talk about them, I'm gonna miss some. I think I already missed some because I done had too many damn dreams. What kind of rituals did y'all do? I didn't do what did I do? I just did like a prayer, and I think that a whole week I kept a candle burning on the altar. I never put it out. I bought them some ancestors oil. That's what I did with them. I know I had a dream. I think it's been a little while ago where I dreamed about my grandfather. It was the weirdest dream. It was a weird dream. It was a weird dream, but my grandfather's still alive though. In the dream, we were living with him in this house, and we were scared to go check the mailbox because this big black blob wouldn't let us check the mailbox. That dream was crazy. I was telling my cousin about it. Have you guys checked out our website? We have some great spiritual kits. If you're interested, I mean, I don't think anybody can beat the deals that we have going on with our spiritual kits. You ought to be able to see. Let me put the website in here. There you go. And check those out. We got like some great deals on our kits, spiritual kits. And let me know what you got going. If it's something special, like you're trying to do, let me know, and I can see if I can get you a kit together. You know, because usually when you do work, I've been doing it for. You gonna need a backup. I mean, you're gonna need everything, a few things. You know, not just the bath, but you might need a candle. You might need the bath. You might have to do things in layers to make sure it goes right. Make sure you have everything you need. So that's why I made some kits. Because you find yourself having to do some work, you're going to need some other things to do the work. So you will like our kits that we have going on here. But yep, I did it. It was just like a simple ritual. I did those prayers that they do on, you know how the Catholics say all those prayers for the dead. I used to do a prayer like that for them. I do prayers like that, and then I have other prayers I say for them, and then I'll just like send some healing energy their way. Um, just focus on sending them healing energy, and so that's what I did for them. Fixed a nice meal. So yeah, but I've been doing this for years now. I'm doing good, Urban Alchemist. I'm doing good. Just sitting here chit chatting about this this hoodoo journey. You know, it's a trip. What I like about it, because when I got in the hoodoo course, I was like, oh, I wonder how behind I am. You know, I bet they know a lot of stuff. And then when I got in there, I was like, okay, I found out I had read a lot of the books that that were given to us. And I was like, okay, I get that. I I know some stuff about some mojo bags. Yeah. That's what I'm being taught right now. Yeah, but yeah, I know some stuff about some mojo. That's one of the main things we learn. That's one of the first things we learn in the class is how to work with mojo bags. I know quite a bit about mojo bag. I was getting ready to make my daughter them a mojo bag, a protection kind of mojo bag. And my daughter's like, "Is you done with them?" I was like, I just started on them." And then we did a ritual, a releasing ritual last night. I did a releasing ritual with my family. It was like a mother-daughter ritual. And we did a releasing just to heal our family, to keep negativity away from it. And we made like a mandala together, a circle mandala together to represent the bond, our bond or whatever. And so I said I was going to use some of those shells and beans and things that we use for the mandala to make them a mojo bag. So I just, yeah, the mojo bags, that's the first thing we learn. And I know quite a bit about the mojo bag. I like them. But I'm also learning too that um, mojo bags, what you feed the mojo bag will vary. Let me say that. I think people get a lot of that confused. You know, as far as like feeding and how to feed the mojo bag, I think a lot of people get that confused. And I think it may vary how you feed your bag, what you feed in your bag. So yeah, that's the part I'm learning like right now, learning more about right now. But I'm pretty good at making mojo bags. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Get ready to make one for my daughters. I think the thing I'm learning now is how to do more conjuring. We conjure with our ancestors and they tell us stuff, they direct us to do certain work and stuff like that. But you don't want to wear your welcome out with your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? They not already taught you how to conjure. You already know how to talk to a spirit. So I have to go on. But one thing I don't understand, that's what I was bringing that up. It's something about them and Elegba. That's why I say I think that's ancestral. Like I can't do nothing past him. Like he like it feel like an ancestors. That's what it feel like. That's what it feel like. That's what Elegba feels like to me. It's like my ancestors don't want me to do nothing without him. That's the only uh indigenous deity that I work, and I would say instead, he's the only indigenous deity that I work with first. I have to work with him, so I don't know what he got planned or whatever, but I know that angel would not work with me until I talk to him first. And so I'm learning so much about working with him and working with these other spirits and talking to these other spirits. Oh, that was nice. Praise, joy for a Negro spiritual music throughout the day. Yeah, that was nice. They love music too. And so now I'm learning to work with, I guess, different spirits now. I'm learning how to conjure, how our ancestors conjure. So that requires a lot of reading. I'm reading a lot of ritual books, looking at sigils and seals and making sigils and seals and finding out what each spirit likes, what spirit I'm gonna resonate with. Because all of them, it's gonna be different frequencies. Some you resonate with better, some you won't. So you know, it's work. So do most of y'all, are you guys, I know that Dark Goddess says she works with, I think the Orisha. Um, do anyone work with the Saints? Because that's part of Hoodoo too. I haven't made it to, I guess I kind of have made it up to that side because Elect Buck could be called Saint Joseph too. He's Saint Joseph in the Catholic, represents, he's synchronized with Saint Joseph in the Catholic Pantheon. because you can work with saints too. I noticed another thing too. We're working with angels, like your mind start to operate. It's like your creativity. You experience more creativity. Do that make sense? You experience more creative ideas when you work with angels. It trips me out. Hmm. I mean, I have like these creative ideas. I be like, wow, wow. No, that's that is them giving you that extra energy. Like sometimes when I know I'm supposed to be tired, like I have a lot of energy. And I'm like, that's gotta be them because any other time I would be tired or have this great idea. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I never would have figured this out on my own. But yeah, I experienced them like that. Yeah, your mind, like it. If you're in a fog or something like that, it'll begin to clear. You'll have more creative ideas. That's another thing I have been experiencing here lately, working with them. Besides the dreams, and I always do visual meditation when I do my rituals. I always include visual meditation. Nope. And so, like I was telling y'all, and I don't even be wanting to make these prediction like that um, about that election. I told you that that dude knew he was gonna win, and now his ass won. And for women of color, and the thing that gets me too, he's so focused on Christian because if you're not Christian or whatever, he said you ain't gonna be able to get certain stuff. Oh, okay, that's cool, Chloe. I haven't worked. I guess I can't really say that because I work with elect Bud. I don't know what the. It's like my ancestors want me working with him. That's how I feel. I can't even explain this or put this in words. But it's kind of like uh, a deal breaker. That's what it feels like. I just seen evil oil over his face. I can't get past it. You seen evil oil on who face? Who face did you see evil oil on? Are you talking about the president? Yes, that man. I'm telling you, I told y'all it was gonna happen. It's been in my spirit. That guy. It's so much going on there. It's so much I can, it's so much going on there, but behind the scenes there, and women just need to, women of color, Black women need to be aware. They need their own. We need to already be building our own stuff, on temples, on everything, and become our own superpower, because running down there voting ain't the answer. It's not the answer. That's all I can tell you. That is not the answer. That is not going to get us anywhere. We have to, women of color, Black women have to do something revolutionary. We have to do something very revolutionary. And that's tapping into their spiritual power. It's the reason why they were scared of those witches. They were scared of those witches. It's the reason why they wanted to get rid of them. You don't get rid of nobody who ain't got no power. You get rid of the ones who do have the power. You know, I think that's the main thing you scared of. Mm-hmm. So, and women, I think it was, Helen. It was. Women, if Black women don't get their ass up out of them churches, because that's the very thing they used to enslave your great grandmothers. They use it. Who do you think they enslaved first? Or you thought they enslaved Black people first with that? You need to go back and read that Bible. Who the hell that they was enslaving and concubining and all that stuff? You think that that's the first time they used that? Shh. They just decided on using it later on Black people, but they used it first on women. They've been using it and keep using it on women. They never stopped using it on women. They decided to include Black people too. Once they included women, they said, let's include the Black people too. We just say they're evil too. We'll say they come from Cain. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said about Manly Paul. Go, if you guys have not saw that video, go read the listen to the video, Manly Paul on Divine Feminine. He goes through all this stuff. This is the shit that make me mad with the XY chromosome. I try not to get upset with them because I know that they don't know that they genetically defective. They haven't learned that yet, but I know. I talk all about that on Patreon. I'm not trying to offend them. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything like that. You were just miseducated about your genetics and the way your mind works, But he was saying that the divine feminine, if they predicted this time, if they haven't already seen the avatar already themselves, she is here. The divine feminine is here. It is here. It is no damn negotiation. I don't know what this alien thing is about, but that is their story. That's their story. That is their story, and that's the story that they tell. Try not to go in too much into that. But women, he needs to wake up. And Manly Paul was talking about he is helpless. At the end of this video, he's saying he's helpless and without us. I already see that just by looking at the XY chromosome. If you guys just go do the research on the XY chromosome, it would astound you that this chromosome is declining. And I think it's declining faster than what they expect. In fact, this XY chromosome can even morph into another, could possibly mutate into something else or back to the XX chromosome. You do your research on that. I'm not making it up. You can go look it up yourself. But Manly Paul goes on to say that we need the divine feminine need to share leadership with them. And I said, absolutely fucking not. Why would I do that? Why would we do that? And this is a divine feminine planet. That's what's got us in trouble the last time. We've tried to share power with him. Don't think we haven't. Our great mothers already tried to with their species. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. You know, look at their genetics. X chromosome been here millions and years. The XY chromosome is only 300,000 years old. I just want to see how come you can write all this shit about you and you only been here 300,000 years and everything is the center of you. There's a lot of jealousy there. There's a lot of copying there. You know, you can't imagine what happened to women when these beings was genetically modified, when we help them replicate themselves. I don't want to get on my soapbox here because I can keep going and going about that. But I think this important thing is to remember, because he knows his genetics. He knows his story. It's just that women, we refuse to accept that they're not like us. They're not the original cosmic being from this planet. They are not the superior species on this planet. You are. Women are. You know, and I know that's a hard pill for some men to swallow. That's hard for some women to swallow. You know, it's not a popular topic. That's why I had to separate it from here. It's not a popular topic, but I urge you to go look at their. You can either join us on Patreon where I break all this down, or you can do your own research, beloved. Start looking at the genetics. Start looking at the genetics. Because the divine feminine, there are energies at play right now. We're going to be seeing some big shifts that happen, which I told you we was going to see in this presidency. And it's going to impact, I really believe it's going to impact women. That's my take. That's what really needs to happen. Women stand back in their spiritual power, because that's the very thing they used to enslave you. They went right in and start corrupting it, telling women we was doing it wrong and it wasn't this way and all this way, and it wasn't moral. And then they go in there and they start with their doctrine and their religions and whoever these things. Now I can't keep that out because y'all know they talking about these aliens in the water, right? Have y'all been hearing this? But my thing is, why the hell you gonna tell us it's aliens there and you ain't took no damn picture of nothing? Why would you even tell us that? And right now we got so much going on. We don't give a damn about no alien shit so damn high we can barely survive. Do they got some money? Did they come here to change the currency system? Did they come here to make it better? They've been talking about that for a few days now. I really don't want to hear it. If y'all didn't come here with no pictures of the aliens ain't with you, we really don't give a damn. We got too much stuff going on. Y'all done waited to the point where y'all got us so stressed out just trying to live from day to day. Now you want to tell us about some damn aliens. Really? A lot of us are so focused on everything else, But yeah, they've been talking about these aliens underwater, which that don't surprise me. I was telling my daughter that the other day. I said, it makes no sense to me. Why would you go in space and you don't even know what's in the water? It seems like to me, you need to be exploring the water, not going into space. That's counterproductive. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what's down there under us. So why the hell you going above us and you don't even know what's on? And 75% is that is water. That's another world. Mm-mm-mm. I think that's probably what it is because I don't care. My thing is, why the hell, if you really want to get our undivided attention about these aliens, you should have brought them with you. You mean to tell us you're gonna tell us something we already know? We've been knowing that for years and years and years. Y'all been lying about aliens, so you can just cut it with that. So unless you bringing one with you and telling us they got something for us, we really don't want to hear it. I don't give. We don't give. We don't care. We don't give a flying flip. So you can just keep that to yourself. The Black Madonna caged up in the Catholic Church using her power for gain. They do. I mean, you see that in the Kabbalah because they're using that wisdom, the way they have got it set up. That's why I had to look at Kabbalah and said, do it needs to be set up like that? Or did they set it up like that? Did they set it up like that because they can't embody the divine feminine? So you would have to set up a system. But even with them doing that, it's gonna come out messed up because you don't even have the right components to even channel that energy like that. You know, is that for them? Do we need to do that? Did our great mothers do that? You know, it's just so many questions. I have so many questions. You guys know how I am. I'm always trying to learn something and going down a rabbit hole. But just to clear out the misogyny in it, I probably need to find something in there and to tell me how they did that. I want to know really how you did that because the women was the original uh they was the original occultists, the original uh people who was esoterically inclined. Everything they learned they would have to learn from women because women was the first teacher. So it just leaves me a lot of questions, and it really made um, taking this course so frustrating because I'm every time I turn around, I'm looking at a damn man. I'm just like these people here put themselves in every damn thing. It's just impossible that you did all this shit by yourself. We know you didn't do all this by yourself. We know that you can't take credit for everything, but you do though. You try to. It's just frustrating to me. But I have to peel back and just move forward and keep doing the work and just work knowing that all of it ends with the great mother, no matter how they try to hide that and call, it all starts and ends with the great mother. There is no way around it. They've been trying to do that for years and years. There's no way around it. I think they've been trying to find a way around it as well. You ask me, that's what that alien thing about. Every time they come here, they trying to play with genetics. They trying to tamper with genetics and make a better hybrid. Who they trying to replace? Because they can't be trying to replace the original being on here. So there's a lot of energy, especially with the feminine and masculine energy, that that's really going to be impacting us. I try to tell people that be asking for these relationship readings, or they got trying to do some relationship work or whatever. Probably want to back up off there for a minute or two. There's so much stuff going on with the divine feminine right now. A lot of healing is happening. I know I'm doing a lot of healing. And it's something that we need too. A lot of men is healing. It's something to see these men dive deep and do their shadow work too and work on themselves. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it would be, you can't, uh, because it's coming full circle. To go back to Helen's comment that she left in the chat, um, you can't share power with somebody. It's important for, because we don't understand who he don't know who he is. He's been misinformed about who he is. We've been misinformed about XY chromosome, okay, about who he is. He is not, and I don't mean this disrespectfully at all. You can't share power here because of your genetic makeup, because you want power, you want to dominate, and quite frankly, you guys are predatory by nature. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I talked about this the other day, and that when they're talking about that story of alien invasion, who you think they talking about? They talking about our great mothers. They came through Lemuria and Atlantis, like the great mother told me. They came through Atlantis and Lemuria through those stargates. First, we tried to help them, you know, with our technology, because we were already going in and out of dimensions and other things. That's what they tell you about that Tartarian civilization. They say it didn't exist, or yes, it did. It did exist. Our great mothers had advanced technology. They were trying to help these things replicate themselves. We were already replicating ourselves with the XX chromosome. We did that successfully. Okay. You got these things. I don't know what to call them. I don't know what to call these things. But whatever these things is, they wanted something where they could replicate themselves, so they can live in this dimension. And so our great mothers used some of the substance that was here to help them. A lot of people think that Y chromosome is a broke off X, but after doing my research on their genetics and the original organisms here, and see, I'm not even smart. The great mother got me doing this. I said, I don't even know what I'm looking at and what I'm supposed to be looking for in the genetics. And she kind of guided me to what I should be looking at. So the way she explained it to me, they have some of the original organism here that's in everything on this planet, but that Y chromosome, is it really a Y chromosome? Is it really a broke off X, or is it a sort of bacteria? That's what she told me. Is it a sort of bacteria? She said, look at that. Look at the psychology. Look at what's going on. We got parasitic behavior, toxic behavior, narcissistic trait. That's a part of his, DNA made up. So is this a Is this a bacteria that only can live off the X chromosome? I hope that makes sense. It can only be paired up. It cannot exist alone. That's why I was telling somebody yesterday, is it a broke off X, or is it something else? Because this thing fights everything it had. It fights all the XX chromosome it has to try to live. It does, Is it a Y chromosome? Is it a broke off X, or is it something else? Because it has to be paired with the X, and then they say that it didn't make sense why they would outlaw abortion. I think it's a lot worse than what they say with their genetics, because they said their genetics is declining, and the longer they stay on this planet, their genes are going to mutate, and they're going to lose genetic material. So they're going to go back to XX. No matter how hard that's what it looked like. You do the research. I'm not making this up. And so it makes sense why they want to hurry up and mate with all these women like that. Makes sense why they want to outlaw abortion, but that really is not going to save your numbers. Even that is not, like the great mother told me, that's not really going to save them. Because some of the beings that have to be taken off this planet, and she already know these beings, and some of these men carry like she said that it could be an event like the dinosaurs. Let me put it like that. Remember, nobody really knows what happened to the dinosaurs, whether the asteroid, why were they just targeted? Why why didn't all species die? Why did this species just, it's sort of like that. She has a fail safe like that. And the XX chromosome is the original species here. Like they'll tell you, that's why Bobby Hemmett said, tall men, if you don't change yourself, y'all gonna be maggots. Remember Bobby Hemmett telling men that when he was having this lecture? He was having a lecture with them, and he was talking about the divine feminine. He was telling men, if they don't get themselves together, they're gonna be maggots. That's very true. That's very true. Because you are going, you want your genetics saved. If you want to exist on this planet, you're gonna have to do a shift. You're gonna have to. So the Mother Earth, like Great Mother said, it really doesn't matter, because the more they act out with this aggression, nature is going to have a reaction with them, with the XY chromosome. You can't fight against nature. So say they are not supposed to be leading. This planet is not going to function properly. It's going to go against them. It's going to, I talk about this more in my Patreon, the Patreon platform, because I don't want to sound like I'm being cruel or mean, but it's just the fact of the thing. Like, you're not the original species here. Do you actually believe Mother Earth is going to let you hurt her daughters, the original cosmic being? You think that that she's going to go extinct, allow you to put her in a state of deprivation again, to that point, do another femicide? No, that's not going to happen again. Mother Earth was just great. Mother's just like, no, I'm not gonna let that happen again. It's enough, and that's when you look at that stuff with P Diddy, they have to put it back down because that stuff go all the way to the White House. They've been doing this to generations for generations to women. Like I was telling somebody the other day, go look at that story about Kathy O'Brien, and she talks about people being in this traffic type of organization for generations. They've had families in this stuff for generations. This has been a generational thing for them. They've been doing it for generations. There's families that, you know, to cooperate with this trafficking stuff. They've been doing it for generations. That's why they're not going to show all this stuff, you know. But there's definitely some stuff going on with the X, and I think they can feel it. They know it. Some of them are willing to do the shift and change, and some of them, because of that Y chromosome, it's somehow it messes with their thinking some kind of way. I think that's what that alien thing about. That's why they always doing these, want to do all these genetic testing on these people, whatever they abduct, because I think it's because of that. It's something going on with them. Now, we never did see it at first because we haven't did enough study on them, and they've been always putting themselves ahead. But now we're in the age of Aquarius. There's no reason not to know that this person, this being here is not the original being here. This is why he's going through all these lengths to write himself into matriarch history, into take over our science, our architecture, just take credit for everything. And yet, when we look out here, we don't see a representation of the this so-called father. We see it for the divine feminine, but not for the divine masculine. You don't see that around here. Wow. That thing with nature, I don't know what to say about that. We already seen Nature Boy. We seen them turn into a narcissist. We already see what happens when they try to embody this leadership. We already see what's happening. It's either gonna turn him into a full blown narcissist, or he's going to become very feminine. Because they were never designed to be that way. This a homosexual religion. You're bound down to other men. You were never supposed to be. What do you think that was going to happen? They have more affection for each other than they do women. They look at women, you're like a refrigerator or a car. That's what they think of you. They look at each other more like equals than they do you. But again, we're talking about a predator. He doesn't even know. He doesn't operate properly because he was designed that way. Okay, they don't know. They become dictators and all of that. So he has no, he doesn't know, XY chromosome don't know, because these things set it up to make him look like he was the center of everything, and he is not. And it's a hard pill for some of them to swallow. But my thing is, if women to get their ass out them churches and start building their own temples and start having their own ministry and stop men from coming in there, just like they do stuff and say, this ain't woman business. Women need to start telling men this is not your business. Because he's not a leader. Just you can't let him sit in on stuff that women are talking about, and we're the original leaders, because they're not gonna let your ass sit on what they're talking about when they feel like they're superior, and we know they're not. So I'm just keeping it real here with you. I don't, by any means necessary. He is not, because they're not gonna let you. It's the reason why they won't let women get a foothold up in there, because they already know if women became leaders in there, spiritual leaders and all of that stuff, it's gonna put them to shame. They're gonna, everybody gonna know who was messing up in there. You're gonna know who was doing who was messing up what. They got to make it seem like they still a hero, but they are not. And for women, you really want a foothold in something, go create your own whatever. Be happy and create your own whatever. Don't even ask for nothing over there, because he gonna crumble. Don't even go in that government nothing they made up. Women need to have their own stuff, because you are the one who supply the people they want to rule. All people come through your yoni, your portal. And if you don't have no people to rule, what you ruling? Especially as women over here minding their own business. And let's see how y'all do together. Y'all rule each other and see how that shit do. Let's see how y'all turn out. Just see how you turn out just ruling each other. Y'all need to be over there, and we'll be over here doing our own thing. We already tried your way. It doesn't work. You sitting up here, your stuff is faulty. You don't know what y'all doing back there. You know, and it just is, the power is with the people. And if anything is going to change, it's going to change through the women. Just like that book, The Great Cosmic Mother. They're able to keep this going on because they have taught the mother all these patriarch ideals, and then she passed them on to her children. They have just done that much study on you. And what do you have to do? Stop teaching that. Stop teaching that. To come out of this because it's sick. It's dark psychology. Everything is built on dark psychology. That's why you see the high form of narcissism. That's how they do. We tell them we doing the 4B movement. He said he gonna do it too. You see the matches to copy. It's still a copy all the way. I'm doing it too. I'm doing the 4B move too. Okay, that's what we want you to do. We want you to leave us that alone. You know, it's a matching thing. It's no original nothing. Everything they got from the Great Mother. And it, to me, it's just it's the audacity and disrespect for me, for you to keep putting yourself in the center of stuff. And you know damn well you ain't did this, but you know you didn't do this. You know, how many of this stuff did y'all steal from our mothers? You know, the original scientists, the original mathematicians, the original philosophers. You know, it's not. So that time is coming up. And Bobby Hemmett has was trying to tell them, but like I said, there will be some that they don't want to let that go. Like some people don't want to let go racism because it works for them. Why let go patriarchy? It works for me. You get to be my servant. I get to have a servant. So a lot of them gonna have to do a lot of work. We got a long road ahead of us. But that 2025 bill plan or whatever, that plan make that every time I think about that plan, especially when they talk about you're not going to be able to get certain things if you're not Christian, and then making abortion illegal. It sounds like the Handmaid's Tales to me. That's all I'm saying. It sounds just like the Handmaid's Tale. Sound like y'all trying to go back to the biblical days, because I know y'all men been talking about y'all wish women was different. Y'all wish it was in a different time, that it was the old days. Is that what y'all, I don't know. I have to think that way, because that man is talking about taking away civil rights. What does that mean? What are you doing that for? I mean, them the kind of things that cross my mind. I would say right now, we probably be doing some big protection work. Sure is. 'Cause they using some heavy dark magic. So we need to be doing some heavy protection work. All women need to be coming together, putting their magic together, because that's what they doing. These masons and stuff, they are using um, our magic to do all this. And if women had their temples and stuff and was back in their magic, they wouldn't make it this far. They wouldn't make it as far as this. We wouldn't be like this. That's my opinion. And it's not to hate them or anything. It's just the natural order thing. You don't see animals in nature following their daddy around. You don't see that. See, that's what I'm telling you now. I do not trust that man. I do not, and I hate to be right. You think I want to be right? I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. I don't. If women don't get their shit together, you are the original cosmic being. Don't shit move. None of this shit move without you. None of this stuff moves without you. We have been prisoners of war for over 10,000 years to these men. Go back and read your Bible. Who you think they was enslaving? It's been going on for over. We just didn't realize. They tell you that in that Bible. You just didn't know it. Been dumbed down. Been given a program. And once you think you helpless and all that stuff. They sure they're afraid of women when women get in groups that you think they ain't. They're afraid. Why you think they try to isolate us away from each other? They don't want to be confronting no women in no groups like that. But that's your feminine power. Now a lot of them is unpacking, and not a lot of. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but there's so many of them that are defective like that. That's AI. That's clone Tyrone type. They're gonna have to. It's too many of them. It's just too many of them. It's too, and women are not gonna mate. She got any sense, she's not gonna mate with that. It's not nobody to choose from. I believe that, Helen. They don't want that. They don't want that. But see, that the great mother already told them this is gonna happen. It's in their Bible that your world man, where that Bible is addressing man. It's as specific when y'all address women, y'all specifically putting us in our subordinate roles. Okay, you wrote this for you. You wrote about the end of your time, end of your time, the end of the XY chromosome. You wrote about that. It was addressing you. Your job with your God was to try to spiritually evolve into a decent being on this planet, and you just didn't do it. You did not do it. There's many stories over and over again where many of you failed in your own story. Many of you failed in your own story. So I really have no words. You know what I'm saying? Have no words because they have set themselves up like this. It's really a crime shame. It really is. You done it and then want to talk smack about it. You know, I tricked them out. Did you hear what was that the senator or Congress? His name was Congress Futez or whatever. He said something about. He said something smart to a woman. He was like, "Your body, my choice," or something like that. Hmm. I mean, we probably need to call on our dark. This the energy at play here, and I'm telling you, you're playing. You know that the Great Mother is real. Like y'all know that she's real. You know this is original divine feminine. I don't care how many religions that y'all put yourself over, but at the end of you have to come in contact with the divine feminine for you to spiritually evolve. There's no way around it. So what are you doing when you're not accepting it? Are we doing what P. Diddy do? Because that seemed like what y'all do. Y'all, whoever y'all serving or whatever y'all got going on, y'all doing some P. Diddy shit. Whatever he was doing with them rituals, whatever you're doing, because you have corrupted it. I don't see why you're gonna steal some and then corrupt it if you weren't gonna use it the right way. You know, it makes no sense to me. And then you know, like the great mother say, you can either roll with it or get rolled over. That's how it would be. I don't care, you know. I don't think you got the upper hand. You don't. I don't know what these things is about. These aliens, you know, the only thing I know, whoever it looks like to me, whoever created the XY chromosome, these things, I don't know who they are. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't know. But that's in their story. That story with Thoth and all that stuff is in their story. Whoever create them is trying to correct their genetics. But they've been trying to do that. I think that's what that clone stuff is all about, is really trying to correct their genetics. But my thing with that, don't mess with the X chromosome to mate with him. And maybe if y'all left us alone long enough, we'll be able to go back to our natural state and do some parthenogenesis. But don't mess with us trying to upgrade his DNA. Y'all, I don't know what to tell you. Because if our DNA didn't fix it, don't use our DNA again. That's all I got to say. Don't use our DNA again. I don't know, you know, you can't fix him. You can't give him a shot or something, or put him on some medicine to where he's psychologically balanced or something. I don't know. But I firmly believe that's what the, you know, because too many people said, oh, I had a baby by an alien and I got a hybrid baby. And you're thinking to yourself, why are the aliens doing that? You know, why are they trying? You're just wondering why would they do that? And then you look at the XY chromosome and you see that they're losing genetic material. The longer they be on this planet, they lose more genetic material. Okay. So who would need to have better genetics if they was losing genetic material as longer than on this planet? You do your, you know, make it make sense to you. It just made sense to me that whoever made them has been. I don't get that. Example of get Matt G as Attorney General on non-womanizer and an essayer. I haven't heard anything about that one. I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know anything about this story. They let you know, it put it together. Who would need their genetics, need better genetics? It sounds like the XY chromosome, that's their story. that they come from these alien beings? That's the only thing I can think about. Especially when I start looking at their genetics, I'm like, wow. But I don't think it. And I think they hear us say this, they get all offended. I'm not saying it for a mean thing. I'm saying it because no one ever taught us this at school. And we went through biology. We talked about DNA. I think it's a shame that you don't know that. It's kind of scary, frightening that women didn't know that. Especially we didn't know y'all nature. They just done push so much propaganda for us to be with you and have your children, but you really are our biggest predator. Hey, madam. Well, thanks coming into the live. So that masculine energy, because it doesn't belong here. It's just common sense, especially when you start doing your shadow work and connected with the divine feminine. Um, it's 75%, 80% water here on this planet. Why wouldn't it be feminine? And women, when we have babies, they be in the water. They go into the water. So you are a cosmic being. You got a moon cycle, everything. You have all the characteristics saying that you are the original being. He doesn't have those characteristics. He has aligned himself to the sun, saying that he's the center of the world, the center of the universe. That's what they did. So that's a fact, and I'm not trying to knock them or nothing like that, but that's a reality and an awakening that we have to deal with. Men too. Men too. And I'm not trying to insult them or anything like that. It's just the first time. I think this is the first time that a lot of us have just start waking up and listening and looking at things. So it is an eye opener for a lot of us. I heard we aren't even supposed to be on our backs. That's what I heard too. We supposed to be squatting. I heard we supposed to be standing up squatting. Yep. There, it was a time too that we had doulas and midwives and stuff like that, but you see the patriarchs start taking over our medicines, our botanicas, our natural healers, and things like that, just like they start taking over religion. Women had those leadership roles. Men did not have those roles. They took the resources and just warped it. Yeah, we're supposed to be standing up. Yeah, it makes, they say it makes for an easier birth. Makes your birth makes it goes a lot easier because you have gravity help. I feel the same way too, Helen. Something got warped somewhere, especially when you go back to the Kadesh temples. I told you about the Kadesh temples. think I posted. Did I post it here? I don't know if I posted it here or not. But I talked about the Kadesh temples. And you'll see these temples being referenced in the Bible. You'll see these men going to these temples, and you'll hear them being called holy prostitutes or the sacred whore. I hate those terms because, again, these are men coming in demoralizing our spiritual practices because our sexuality was a part of our spirituality. And men felt uncomfortable with that. That's the way I look at it, because women, sexuality is a woman thing. It's a divine feminine. And so men didn't know what felt good. So to come in contact with the divine feminine, he would have to come in contact with the priestess that knew the art of the tantric magic, knew how to open up your kundalini, knew how to take you to the state of ecstasy so you can have a transformative experience. Now I go and I break this all down on Patreon. You probably can buy the single video over there, but I break all of this down to give you a visual of how this goes or whatever. And they would have to come to the temple. This was the practice of women, the spiritual practice of women all over the globe. Okay, there were temples all over the globe. It was understood, if men wanted to come in contact with the cosmic mother. Oh, thank you, the real Tashi. If men wanted to have an experience with the cosmic mother, they would have to go to these women. Say, for instance, a lot of people talk about Superhead. They don't like Superhead, because Superhead and been with a lot of celebrities. But what you can't say about Superhead is Superhead gets her money. If she was back in those ancient days, she would be a high priestess. She would be the one who knew the art of tantric, of pleasure to the highest ecstasy. She would know that. So, and they'll try to slut shame women because we have experience in sexuality, or as you have many bodies you got. Really, they feel inferior and small when women have more sexual experience than them. They want women that don't have sexual experience, so she won't know when he messing up or he don't know what he doing. They would rather have it like that so they can pervert it and don't have to learn how to do it right, so they can do what they want to do. But it's really sexuality is an art of the divine feminine, and they would have to come in contact. And so down the road, that's why they can't make up their mind whether they want the saint or the harlot. What do you want? Do you want the woman that the saint? They can't make up their mind because they try to separate it. See, I'm telling you that she would have been a highly paid priestess. They would, and she still get her money. Don't believe me. Them men pay her because they already know she know what she doing. She already know what she doing. She getting paid well. Now, one of those temples, she would have been paid well, but see, they didn't put us in dark rows and stuff like that. They would have to come to the temple. We were called holy women. We were protected by the government and all that. It took them a while to take us down. They convinced us that what we was doing was immoral, and we was like, at first, like, no, it's the same thing. But see what happens when you separate sexuality from spirituality. Now you got all this trafficking and all this shit going on because you say your God is not sexual, but yet your God is going around getting married, pregnant. Make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. And y'all done perverted sexuality by going underground with these women and children. But when you had the Kadesh temples up, you couldn't pervert it. We kept it sacred. But when you took it underground, you start trafficking women and children. You perverted it. That's why the Kaddish temples need to come back up. They didn't want to pay women to come in contact with the divine goddess, with the great mother. You didn't want to do that anymore. I didn't feel like they were spending a lot of money to do it because these women were a lot of our great mothers are very good at their job. And now now you see the perversion going on. We already knew that sexuality wasn't different from spirituality. We understood that. But when you got somebody here that's inferior, who don't understand how your planet works, who don't understand the cosmic being, the original cosmic being, you got them doing shit that they don't know how it works, and now you can see the repercussions of it. See? She know the art of tantra. That's superhead. They don't want women to know that. And then I hear them too. Oh, we got this whore culture, and we got this whoredom culture. It don't make no difference. Y'all can have a woman straight with all her clothes on. Still, y'all gonna go after the woman with no clothes on. So what are you talking about? You're mad because you don't have that sexual power that they have. You can't resist that sexual power. A real goddess knows how to weaponize her power. She knows how to use her beauty. We knew the art of seduction and all of that. Then they got together with their little organization and they come up with this stuff that they got going on with religion. And convince women that we wasn't more, we was wrong, and our way was the wrong way, and we didn't know what we was doing, and yeah. And this is what we got here. Women, I say, lean into your sexuality, explore yourself, adorn your body, worship yourself. Because see, that's what he was meant to do. He don't even know it. Now you sitting up bound down to a man. Your sexuality, you are triggered sexually when you come in contact with a man. And you hate that you have to sleep with the woman to satisfy yourself. Some of them don't like women. They are emotionally homosexual. They only see each other, feel for each other. They don't feel for a woman. They don't feel for a man. A lot of them can't connect with, and that's how we want them to connect, but they can't do it. He don't have that in him to do it. If he could do that, he'd have done that long time ago. They built differences. You need to go check out the XY chromosome. Check it out for yourself. I don't have to make this up. I don't have to hate them or anything like that. All I got to do is talk about simple biology, and that's proof right there. Something is definitely wrong with them, but we're getting a chance to talk about it now. You heard Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon said he was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. These men that's telling you what it is, who they are out their mouth. I don't even think they want to be like that. And see, I think that's what whoever created them realizing that too. Y'all created this species. He's gonna forever be in torment. This is what y'all created. Because y'all didn't know what y'all created. Y'all tried to get him to set up laws, give him a religion to help him evolve. It has not helped him. He's still mentally tortured. You try to get us to help him. Hell, y'all told him to put us in a subordinate role. You can't teach nobody who think they know every damn thing. They the center of everything. They even had women fighting over their ass. I don't know why. He is not the center. He is not. And that's going to be a hard thing for them to come to terms with, to accept, because it's hard for women to accept and stop being codependent and stop reaching for them. That's annoying. Like he gonna save you, because he not. Need to find out why it's all the propaganda, it's the music, it's all there. Back in the past, our great mothers had no choice but to be with them, because they took all the resources that our great mothers had access to. So it forced us to pair up with them. But they didn't want to, a lot of them didn't want to be with the men. If they would have had their own money, they wouldn't have been bothered with the men like that. That's the fact of the matter. And I'm not trying to bash them or nothing. I'm sure it's hard for them to wake up to the realization that I don't think it's really sunk in to them, because they just like, we was created by the Anunnaki. They think that's really, really good. I think it hasn't really sunk in. I really don't, because they really trying to pair themselves up with these aliens or whatever. And I don't think it has just really sank in that you AI dude. That's why y'all function like that. I don't think that's really sunk into them. I don't really, they're not comprehending who created them and what they are. We the original cosmic beings. I don't think they understand what that means. That's just because they brag about this stuff. But when I hear them telling about it, I like when they tell it about it, because it just confirmed what I wrote in my book. It just confirms what I've been talking about. I love to hear them talk about it, because it does nothing but confirm what the great mother told me. That they are not the original. It has always been the great mother. And they have written themselves into our history, our sciences, our arts, our spirituality. And they don't really know. They don't even know who they are. Okay, so what question do you have about Hoodoo? Are you a new Hoodoo? Green soap? Because I want to make sure I'm talking about some people been in it for a long time, a solitaire. Some people are beginners. So I just want to know where you are. Okay, no. Okay, so the first thing about Hoodoo that's important, I think, is learning more about your ancestors. You're going to learn the language of spirit through your ancestors. Okay, your ancestors. So if you have not been working with your ancestors, that's going to be your first mediumship skills. That's why they tell you to work with your ancestors first before you go off working with other spirits, because they're going to be teaching you how to communicate with spirit. Does that make sense to you? And I would do it on a consistent basis. If you're trying to do work with Hoodoo, you need to do it on a consistent basis, weekly, and have conversations with your ancestors. Now, some people use tarot cards to connect with their ancestors. I don't know what's going to be your medium. Some people just channel. Some people just write and listen. I don't know what your channel or medium is going to be, but it's important to start talking to your ancestors. Now, if you have ancestors you got family member, because some people think ancestors mean family member. No, I think that restricts people to thinking when you talk about ancestors, just family member. No, family member, ancestors mean trees. They mean dirt. They mean Mother Earth. Your ancestors are the ones you are here helping you exist. So we can go as far out to the land. So we really want to honor those ancestors on the land. Okay, I can't recommend this enough, because this woman, she went over to try to get initiated in that voodoo, and I really feel like that had something to do with that. Did y'all hear about that story about that woman went to Haiti or somewhere and tried to get initiated in hoodoo? I mean voodoo, and nobody, her family didn't hear from her again, and they just they only told the family that she was dead or something. I firmly believe when we go out and start trying to get initiated in this stuff, we need to honor the ancestors here first. You had indigenous ancestors here first. You need to go back to that land. Too many ancestors died and spilled blood on this land. It is a disservice and a disrespect to go out somewhere else first when you have so many who gave so much here. Okay. It was, I don't know the full story. I just know this lady, she went to go get initiated to learn more about voodoo. I don't know if it was in Haiti or Africa. She went over there. I don't know what them people did to her, but they said she was dead and her family hadn't heard from her. Okay. And there's a lot of people that want to get initiated in voodoo and all that. And you know, this Pan-African stuff gets promoted, which I see nothing wrong with standing in solidarity with them. But you must understand that there were already people of color here. Everybody didn't come out of Africa. That is a colonizer story. I wish I can get my instructor to try to believe that, you know, accept that part too. That is a colonizer story. If you go back to talk to some of your grandparents and stuff, think back. Did they tell you was from Africa? Did they say, because we got teachers and everybody else telling us we were from Africa. Did your grandparents tell you from their mouth that they came from Africa? If they didn't, I would advise you to go back to the land. And plus, those indigenous people here had a relationship with our ancestors. So they are our ancestors. Okay. So that's the main thing you want to do. You want to honor those ancestors, connect with the land. And if you know, and then you have national ancestors too, you know, ancestors of the culture like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks. You know, I can go on and on. Marie Laveau, Aunt Caroline Dye, Black Hawk, John the Conqueror. So you got, you know, you have a variety of culture ancestors that you can work with as well. Okay. And then you have family member. You can choose the family members that you wish to work with. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that ancestors was just not family, that it is a big scope when we talk about ancestors. Okay. So you have a variety of ancestors. Now, if you've done that for a while, and anytime you're having problems, go to your ancestors and talk to them the way I'm talking to you. You will get some feedback. What you're doing is building up a relationship and ashe on that altar. Oh, that's so sweet. So you felt like he was taking something from you when he baptized you? I didn't. I haven't had it. What I was having an experience with my mom was getting us baptized too many damn times. Because she can figure out if she wanted to baptize us in the name of Jesus or the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. You know, that was going back with that. Because I must have been baptized three, 4 times. I'm like, one in the name of Jesus, one Father. I want you to be baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. I'm like, And you need to make it. I don't think you know what you want. So yeah. I've been baptized a few times since my mom couldn't make up her mind what she wanted. She didn't know what was right because there was arguing. Christianity was arguing back and forth, baptized in the name of Jesus or in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. So there was a big thing going on there. But I was just like, yeah, I know, crazy ain't the girl. No, I was just like confused. Like, I wish this is the most confusing religion ever. Why does this even make any sense? But I was a kid and I was just trying to, my mama knew right, so I feel like I need to do what my mama tell me to do. But I would do that for a while, talk to my ancestors for a while. The ancestor altar is absolutely not for any spell work. You will not be doing any spell work on there. If that's something that you're wanting to do, you probably want to set up a different work table. Your ancestors is for veneration, protection, support, insight, wisdom. They'll even tell you, if you come to them and tell them that you want to do something, they'll give you workings to do and it will work. Okay, so if you ever need help with something, you've established a relationship with them, you're going there weekly, having a conversation with them, giving them offerings. They are not your slaves. Okay, it's a relationship. They are not your slaves. They do not work for you. It is a relationship. It is getting to know each other. It's having each other back. It's family. Okay, you need to get to know those spirits. You need to develop a relationship with them. Don't try to do no workings on the ancestors' altar. It is not for that. Okay. All right. It is a home for them, a home where you guys communicate. No, you don't need an altar for each ancestor. You only need one altar to house your ancestors. Now, if you want, you can also write their names down for particular ancestors. Some people put a glass of water up there for every ancestors. I don't do that. Whatever your ancestors move you to do, because I don't tell nobody how to set up their table, but you are going to need some water. You are going to need some that represent earth. If you can get some of their graveyard dirt, even better. If you can get some graveyard dirt from them, but leave an offering. Don't go just get no dirt off their grave and not leave an offering, some gin, some liquor, something there for them. Don't go to their grave and not give them anything. Yeah, but those are the basic things you need to have up there. And if they like sweets, put their favorite sweets up there, cake or their favorite dish up there they like to eat. You can put that up there. No, it probably wasn't even the devil, girl. It probably wasn't even the devil. It probably was the great mother, honey, because I ain't even have sense enough. Because we just bought up Pentecostal. And then my mom started having some of these spiritual awakenings, whatever she was having. And we started church hopping a little bit. So I was just like all confused altogether what was going on. Okay, so if some of you don't have a picture, that's fine. You can write their names down. There is a lot of prayers out there for ancestors. So you can look up some ancestors' prayers or you can make up some of your own. Yeah, you wasn't the devil, girl. You wasn't the devil. Chloe said, I thought I was the devil. It's probably something deeper going on there. Yeah, so that's the beginning of hoodoo. You do that, do that. It just all depends. For me, it's nothing but energy. They are getting energy from the food. Or then some people they'll leave it up there for a minute and then they'll eat it themselves. Some people leave it up there in their altar for a day or two and then they just discard it or they take it to a tree or put it somewhere out in nature. It's all in how you want it, all in how you want to do it. Everybody's different how they do their ancestors offering. So that's up to you. You can either eat it, because sometimes they enjoy food through us, or you can put it on their altar, or take it out to a tree. So that's up to you. But doing that for a while, you'll feel a little shift. Uh, you'll start seeing shifts and start seeing a little difference in that. Now, if you're wanting to work with another spirit, I say the best spirits to work with, start off working with angels and kind of ask your ancestors what they want you to do. But usually it's angels, it's the first, either the saints or the angels, you'll end up working with them. You're welcome. Either the saints or the angel. Another book I can recommend, if you're doing any work, but I don't think y'all ready for that. I don't think you're ready for this. But I do recommend this because of the workings in here. It's so hoodoo-ish in here, because you do these workings for like 11 days. These days, they go in days. So I do recommend this book, but you are going to have to study ritual, ceremony. Okay, at some point you're going to run into ceremony, into ritual. Now, if you want to incorporate the saints, go ahead and learn more about the saints in connection in how we viewed it when it came to us, because we paired the Orisha and some of the voodoo with some of the saints, and you can come in contact with the Orisha voodoo by way of the saints. So you can go that way too. But make sure that you research everything. Research, because if you start working with a spirit, you're working with a personality. You need to take time out to get to know them and connect with them. It's a relationship. You can't boss them around. You have to develop a relationship and be consistent at going at that space where you have put up for them and talking to them, just like you talking to me. I just got through talking about this just a while ago, talking about the signs. You will start to see signs sometimes. Now, if you want your ancestors to show you signs, sometimes they'll come to you in your dreams. Sometimes your dreams will kick up. Okay. Now, that book, Summoning Spirit, I would not go into that book after I have developed a strong relationship with my ancestors. And in that book, I would not work with the goetic spirits. I will only work with the archangels in that book. But it's so much that compass there. You need to know when to contact that archangel, what day he's over, what's his favorite stone, what's his favorite incense or herbs. Like, you have to research all of that. It's important not for us to jump out there and just work with them. We have to find out more about them. And I think it makes it easier for us to make a link with them when we know more about them. Okay. So make sure you know, like I got a encyclopedia, nothing but spirits. It mentioned nothing but spirits. So if I'm researching a spirit, I can go in there and see what that spirit likes or whatever. And I can pretty much set up an altar that's going to attract the spirit. So make sure you do the research, because you want to attract that spirit too. You want to make sure you're working with this spirit and have the things that they like. I would start asking them, what they want me to do. Start showing me signs, what they want me to do. Or start asking my ancestors. I really wouldn't start working with anything until I work with my ancestors. The only thing I would recommend that you doing beyond your ancestors, that's probably working with the archangels. But beyond that, you need to work with your ancestors before you work with anybody. It's a disrespect. because first they are going to you're going to have better mediumship skills once you learn to talk to spirit. They got to teach you your mediumship skills. Your first form of mediumship psychic lessons come through that ancestor altar. You learn the language of spirit through your ancestor altar. You know when that water is off. If that water is changing colors and stuff like that, something going on in your life. You need to be watching the water, watching the food. How long do the food stay on there before it start going bad? Watch the flowers. How much ashe on there? How long do your flowers stay on there before they start turning bad? The longer they stay alive on there, the stronger your ashe is on your altar. You know, how your ancestors talking to you. Are you seeing visions? Are they talking to you like is it clairaudient? Or you just shit just popping in your mind just like an answer and you don't know where it came from? Again, you have to learn all of that when it comes to learning how to use your mediumship tools. And you'll get it. It comes easier with your ancestors because you are them and they are you. And then it becomes easier to communicate with other spirits. Any more questions? Y'all say y'all want to talk. I just don't know what part of hoodoo y'all want to talk about. Is the beginning, you know, because everybody's in different spaces or different places in their hoodoo. Some people just starting. Some people been at it for a while. You're welcome, madam. And it's really, you know, this is really a learning journey. I don't think you ever like master it. And that's one thing that irks me too, because you see so many people that come up here like they've mastered hoodoo. You don't really, you can master certain workings, but this is an ongoing learning thing. Are they though? Are they African though? I suggest you do your own research on that. I have conflicting thoughts about that, because you know my thing with the Orisha is that the Yoruba, Ifa, Kandanobi, what is the other one? Lakumi. They'll all tell you that you have to be initiated. You see what I'm saying? It's everywhere. So is it really African? You understand what I'm saying? Because this is indigenous cosmology. You know, I know African like to claim that, but looking at our ancestors and looking at how it traveled to Cuba and all that, is it really African? Okay. And it really makes and I have to go back and forth with some of these traditional religions, because I have to let them know, look, the Orisha are not religious. Now, what they have in common, what y'all have in common? The Orisha work with every last one of y'all traditions. But you're telling us we can't work with the Orishas unless we follow your traditions. Make that make sense to me. And yet all of y'all have different traditions to work with the Orishas. You know, so, you know, I go back and forth with them on that, because I feel like you're trying to do the same thing the colonizer did with this religious stuff, and that has gotten us in trouble. I don't knock their traditions or anything like that. What I knock is telling people about their spiritual practice of what they can and can't do, especially if they are part of the African diaspora. Don't tell them it's close to them, or they have to be initiating them. What? And their ancestors, they gave so much. Don't do that. That's my part right there. Where they're telling a person of African diaspora or, who ancestors went through that, you telling them it's close to them. What the hell? What are you talking about? I don't have anything about Africa. I don't like the fact that you're dumping all of us in one place, and that's just not realistic. That's not true. I don't have nothing against Africa. I stand in solidarity with them. They're indigenous as well. But to put all of us in there again, this is the racist. These are colonizers coming on the scene. They're a much younger generation telling us where the hell we come from. You don't know where we come from. You don't even know where the hell you come from. So how you gonna tell me where I come from? I have nothing against Africa at all. I have something against the colonizer telling me where the hell I come from. You don't know me. You don't know my ancestors. You don't know nothing about us. You just came up on the scene. That's my thing with that. And they've gotten a lot of history wrong on purpose and on accident. So that's my deal with that. I don't have a problem with Africa at all. That's not my issue. My issue is the colonizer telling somebody's story and you don't know nothing. You need to sit down and find out where you come from. Don't be telling people where they from. People been telling us where we from. Them people that don't look like us been telling us where we're from, and you don't even know where the hell you from. So that's my thing with that. I guess they is trolling because I don't have nothing against them. No, I just like I said, I just think they push this narrative, and it's not correct. Because you can go to Brazil, you to go to the Philippines, and it's dark people all over the globe. Yeah, people that don't look like us ain't from here. You know what I'm saying? Don't be telling me where I'm from. You need to go sit down somewhere. That's what you need to go do and find out where you come from. Stop telling people where they from and you don't know where you from. Or you ashamed of where you from because you done sit here and stole somebody else's country. So just sit down somewhere. You don't need to be telling nobody nothing. That's just how I feel about that. But I'm really passionate about that. And I think that came up in with my instructor. That made her feel uncomfortable because you're with this out of Africa theory. And that's just not holding water no more. That's something they told her that's ain't holding the water because they let you know that it is dark. I've seen too many dark-skinned indigenous people here. And it tripped me out. And them folks look just like me. And I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? Because the Indians that they show on TV ain't matching the ones that I'm looking at. These people they look just like me. So what is a Native? What is an Indian? What is that? I didn't see them look dark just like us. So that's why I said we skip a whole you skip a whole generation of ancestors trying to skip over to Africa, but there's so many artifacts and things here for us to tap into our ancestors. You got the mounds here. You got more pyramids here over there in the Americas than you do in Africa. And some of them are older than the pyramids in Africa. What is that? That says a lot. It really, you start to look at things from a different perspective. Yep, they came before Columbus, talking about the pre-Columbian civilization. It's. I mean, you seeing people in different parts of the world that are dark. Look at India; they got dark people. You're seeing the first inhabitants be dark people. Okay, so everywhere you go, you're seeing the first inhabitants are dark. So, these Native Americans, they said they crossed the Bering Straits. They admit they came over here at last, the one that look Asiatic. And then I've heard too many different stories about the Asiatic looking Native Americans. I mean, it's several stories out there about them out there. Yeah, I think that several. I think that it's just so many variables because they come here and they tell you they didn't build them mounds. They tell you they didn't build them pyramids. They say it was already here when they got here. So them people, we let them people, we share land with them people. We broke bread with the people, but they wasn't here first. They admit that. They admit they wasn't here first. And see, this is America because they like colorism and all this stuff. They didn't put them folks like they first, but Native American doesn't mean first. Even that name doesn't mean first. It means you can be born here and not from America. That name, but indigenous, we were already here. Columbus already said he seen dark people here. I already seen dark people here. Now, them people, I'm not saying them people ain't from here, but they wasn't here first. They're not the original inhabitants on this land. They were not. They were just easier for the colonizer to work with, but they wasn't the originators of this land. They're not the originals. And that's my thing with that out of Africa theory. It just don't hold water. It just don't. And that's one of my things I see in my Hoodoo class. I'm just like, why is this? We need to decolonize this. So I've had to pull a lot of things apart in that course. But I'm learning a lot of things, having a lot of dreams about ancestors and spirit guides. And like I said, we have, if you're looking for some good products, all my products are handmade. We do have some great spiritual kits on our website. I don't think you're going to find a better deal on our spiritual kits. And I put everything in there you'll need for work, for work you're doing, So yeah, just like in our, what is it called? I think it's like our Crown of Success kit. You get the bath, you get the roll opener, you get the unblocker, you get the candle. I mean, all that come in there because I know once you start doing success work, first you're gonna have to do an unblocker before you do the roll opener. Then you do your roll opener. Then you do your Crown of Success when you go for. I know that it all comes together, so you get a really good bang for your buck when you buy a kit instead of buying it individual. And I know how it can add up when you're trying to get things for yourself. And so I've just put some things in kits for you. And I'm thinking about too making 7-day candles and making some specialized oils, but I haven't made any yet. And maybe some mojo bags, So I'm thinking about my next creations, what that I want to create. Whether it's definitely gonna be the 7-day candles. I like working with those 7-day candles because you can really focus on your work, in a row with them, and you can really see how your work going. But then too, I heard somebody say those pull-out candles are real good too to work with. So I'm like, oh, I never worked with the pull-out candle. No, I don't have classes. I probably won't start that up until the middle of next year. I'm in a course right now. I don't have a course I can recommend to you. I can't. I wouldn't even recommend you to the course that I'm in now because I wouldn't recommend it to you. I can't recommend that course to you because it's I've just had it's just the organization, I just couldn't recommend that to a beginner because I don't know, maybe later I'll recommend it to you. You know, it needs improvement. It needs improvements. And my thing is, when I do, if I'm going to refer people to books, I'm going to do a lecture on that book first to let you know what's the highlights of the book. I'm just not going to give you a book to read and not give you a lecture on the book of what's important in the book that you should be working with. So if I was given a course, I'm not going to give my students a book to read and not give them a lecture with it because they need to know what to be looking for and what to take away in the book, what's important for them to learn in the book. And that's one of my drawbacks with that course. Yeah. I'm sorry, madam. I just can't do you like that because I mean it's been something having to put things together on my own, and it's just no organization there. I just wouldn't recommend that because that would be hard for a beginner, you know, because a lot of them don't know what books not to read and what not to, what not to use and stuff like that. If you don't know nothing about that, you'll end up using a book and calling in some shit you don't even know you done called in here. And that was one of our students did. She thought that she was supposed to be working out this book because the instructor was asking us, did we read it? Which I read the book, but when I read the book, I already knew what was going on with the book because I've read a lot of occult books. I've seen a lot of different spirits. I've read on a lot of different spirits, and I knew right off the bat that this book, that wasn't it. That wasn't the work I was trying to do. But this person, she was new. She had never read a book before. She had never heard of these spirits before. So when the instructor asked people, had they read the clavicle, a lot of people said, yeah. And she said she had been working at the book. I said, oh my God. And that's when the teacher told her that, those are demons in that book. And my thing with her was like, why the hell would you give her a book, and not tell her what it is? She don't know that she's a beginner. She didn't know what there is. She's thinking that she's supposed to be doing this stuff out this book. And that was my big thing with that. I was like, shit, now this girl, this woman and called this stuff in, and she had no idea who these spirits was. She was just trying to do a ritual. And so that's why I say I wouldn't recommend that for somebody who's a beginner because you wouldn't know what you're looking at. Some of that, it just need lectures with it. It needs to precautious with it. So beginners would know how to navigate that stuff. Yeah, so I don't like that kind of stuff. That really ticked me out because I'm just like, that book should have only been introduced to the master class. But see, I already knew what it was when I saw it. We got all the books of Solomon over there. We do have the books of Solomon over there. We have the books of Moses over there. We are reading it is so many books that we go through over there. But what gets me with some of the books is they are so old that the wording needs to be updated in it. That's why I say it needs to be lectures with those books. And so a lot of these books have been updated. There's our other updated good occult books. There would be better references than some of these old books. And my thing is, if you're gonna suggest these old books to read, please put a lecture with them so we'll understand why you want us reading this old ass book and what we're supposed to take away from it. I'm just saying. It just makes learning that much more difficult. And it's not supposed to be difficult to learn this. You know what I'm saying? You're making it harder than what it has to be. You know, I wouldn't refer you to that. I wouldn't do you like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm having my own challenges over there, my own self, and I just wouldn't do that to anyone. And with this, most of us want to know how to apply our workings. We want to learn rituals to perfect our workings. You know, um, I think it should be a lot of that and a lot of shadow work. And when we're talking about those books, it needs to be lectured with those books so people know exactly what they're looking for and what to take away from there. I think as an instructor, we're responsible for that. If you're going to teach like that, you wouldn't give a child a car if they've never driven before, right? You wouldn't give a child a car if they've never driven before. It's the same thing with this. You got people that's new in here. They're not familiar with rituals. They're not familiar with some of these spirits. They can't tell the difference between a goetic or a demon name or archangel name. They don't know. Sometimes this is their first time. So to give them that information without any precautions, any provisions, any lectures or anything like that, I think that's just irresponsible. And that's just my take from that. I'm not judging the person, I'm not judging my instructor, but like I was telling my daughter, I'm certainly learning what not to do when I do start teaching my own course and how I want to show up for my class and my students. I don't want it to be like that, because we're kind of left there grasping stuff. You're trying to grasp stuff that I don't even have the words for it. I find myself always having to get that instructor on the phone. That's all I got to say. But luckily, too, that I've been solitaire for a very long time. So I've been practicing. I've probably been practicing hoodoo before I knew I was practicing hoodoo. But there is a lot to learn in here. And the best thing you could do for yourself, too, before you get cracking in all of this is start doing your shadow work. Because you ain't going to make it no real headway with none of this if you don't do your shadow work. I'm telling you that now. You can't just be going in there throwing stuff at folks that you don't like or who done made you mad. You have to learn some temperament and balance in this. Okay, and then your ancestors want you to heal. They want to heal themselves. So the big upgrade in here, and a lot of people don't take that in consideration when they start doing this work. You have got to do it because you are working with spirits. You are working with your mind. And if your mind is not balanced and stuff, you won't be able to interpret these messages that you're getting from spirit. You got to have temperament, emotional, all that stuff got to be balanced. Okay? That's before you do any spiritual workings. That's a part of your spiritual growth and evolution. There's no way around it. And like I was telling somebody else, more than anything, hoodoo is a way of life. Hoodoo is a way of life. It ain't nothing that you put on the shelf and I'm just going to do this Saturday, Sunday. No, it's a way you got to conduct yourself and stay in alignment with these cosmic forces. This is a way of life. I tell people that you have to be accountable and responsible for the things you say and do. And if you ain't ready for that, you probably want to sit down, but this is a way of life. You got to watch the people you be around. You got to watch the things that's coming out your mouth. I think when I first got into hoodoo, that's the first thing you do a lot of uncrossing work because we be saying stuff to cross ourselves up. And we don't do it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of uncrossing work. You'll find yourself doing a lot of uncrossing work when you first come on this path, because you know you're just saying stuff, you're feeling things, you're not really aware. And so when I first got in here, I stay on top of the uncrossing work for a while till you till you start messing your behavior and your language. You know, I can't emphasize that enough. And sometimes the stuff don't work either because you crossed up or you got some kind of block you haven't did any shadow work on. So some workings won't work. If you're blocked financially, or you got a poverty mindset, then it's gonna be hard for you to do money workings. You're gonna have to go back to the drawing board and start removing those financial blocks, prosperity blocks. Like it's a byproduct, everything kind of works together here, and it is a way of life. It's not no fly-by type of, I'm gonna do a magic spell today and be hoodoo today. No. Mm-mm. It's a way of life. Okay, anybody got any more questions for me about hoodoo? I answer them as best and as honest as I can. And ain't no fast thing either, honey, because it take you a while to build up a relationship with your ancestors. But once you start doing the healing work, doing healing rituals with them, things will start to improve. But I tell you, it ain't no fly-by thing. It's a consistent relationship that you build with them. Any more questions for me? And I know somewhere down there, a lot of people say, read your Bible, read your Bible. This is where some of my decolonization come in at. I do read some of my Psalms. I only read Psalms that resonate with me. That's one thing about hoodoo. You only use it. People tell you to read this psalm, read this psalm. It must be a psalm that resonate with you, that to your understanding. Nobody can tell you which psalm to use for a different working. Like your ancestors probably would tell you. You can follow them. But really, when you start doing workings, that's why it's good to use the psalm to see which ones that resonate with some of the workings that you do. What makes sense to you? So you can use the psalms, for that too. But use the ones that make sense to you, because what makes sense to me may not make sense to you. You might see that from a different perspective. Okay. And I've read a lot of them different Psalms book. The one by, what's her name, Rivera, and it's another Psalms book that we read, The Secrets of Psalms or something like that. That book we got in our class, and I look at that book and I'm just like, but our instructor said, look, I can't tell you the meaning of the scriptures. You have to find that out for yourself. You have to find out which scriptures resonate with what you're trying to do. I can't interpret the scriptures for you. You have to interpret them yourself. That's very important. So you have people telling you, read that psalm. That psalm may not even resonate with you. You might. That's why it's good to read a couple of them yourself. If you're sitting down at your ancestor altar, read one or two psalms, every time you sit down with them, and you can mark some that you would use in some workings, or you feel like they resonate with your ancestors, or your ancestors want you to use. But that's important too. Read. Some of those psalms in there. Some of them will work. So you don't always use somebody else's. Use what resonates with you. will resonate with your spirit, with your energy. I hear that all day. Read Psalm such and such. Read Psalm such and such. But that person may look at their songs and be like, I don't see none of this right here. And I've done that, especially in that Psalms book by what's her name? Riviera. Anna Riviera. That's her name. I have looked at that book and I be like, this don't have nothing to do. This don't look like nothing like what she said it's supposed to do. This don't look like the topic that I'm looking for that's in there. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to find me another Psalms because I'm just not feeling it. This Psalm's here for that. So you'll find that sometime, and that's okay. You have to find out what works for you. You know what? You can't, I have to go back to that part too, because our ancestors didn't know how to read, so they had to use the power of their own words. I love to use chants. That's me. I feel like you can build up ashe with chants. If you can say a short little chant, to build that power up, that ashe up, to move your work. I think that works well too. But see, a lot of our ancestors didn't, they didn't use the Bible. And when I was introduced to Hoodoo, and that still shocks my mom. My mom also has that shocked her. I didn't see that. I didn't see nobody using scripture like that. I met a root woman. This woman knew how to look at you and tell if you was pregnant. She was writing prescriptions for people in our neighborhood in Dixie. Then my mom, she knew certain people that knew how to do certain work, and she knew these particular women that knew how to do certain stuff. What is the other? Then my mama's boyfriend. I did a working with him. I was like, I couldn't have been more than 5. And we stopped the dog from pooping in our yard just by locking our pinky fingers together like this, and he was from the country down south. So a lot of times, like, that's why I say it's from the ashe, it's from your power. Because even when you're saying these verses, it's a rhythm to it too. Psalm has a rhythm to it. I had to tell my daughter that. She was like, I'm tired of this D down that. I said, with the Psalms, you have to read them slow to gain a rhythm. That's why they're written like that. It's a rhythm to it. You can't read it fast. You're supposed to read it slow for a rhythm. Okay? So some of them got they different rhythms to them too. But I like reading the Psalms that got like the angels in it. Certain Psalms. That's why I like this book. Because certain Psalms in here will evoke angels, certain angels. And when you go through this book, it show you. Like for this book, you invoke Leviah. So when you go there, the invocations is at Psalm 27:13. So you're going to read Psalm 27:13 and keep this angel in your mind when you read it. So some of the Psalms are like that too. Some of them you read and you're invoking the angel and you don't even know that, because they've left so much out of there. That's why I say I like this book too, because you can really work the Psalms and invoke angels from this book. I think that, and a lot of why Psalms is hid like that, because they didn't want anybody getting access to these angels in here. They wanted to keep, esoteric mean hidden, okay? Occult mean hidden. They wanted to be hidden. But it was something going through there and finding that out, because it's certain verses that I would use, like I use Psalms 91. It's another psalm I use too that got angel in it. It out flat says angel. Them the ones that I like using in protection work. So, make sure you're using Psalms that resonate with you, or which Psalms to read to invoke a certain angel to do certain workings. Like I said, this would, but it's so much more to learn in hoodoo. You will be, right now, I would say read a lot of books on the occult, read a lot of books, esoteric books, as many as you can, to give you a good foundation. So when you go to your table, you know what type of rituals to do. You're more comfortable at doing ceremonies. You know what you're looking at. And I think another thing which I'm learning now is learning the angel alphabet. Yeah, I'm having to learn, and that's a good thing to learn too in your workings. If you want to keep your workings hidden and you just want to communicate with this angel, you can learn how to write, um, learn the angel alphabet. See, I'm sorry that happened, Chloe. Dang. I'm sorry that happened, but chants are really powerful. I have really gotten into chants. That helps my work because I can focus in on how I wanted to move, just saying that chant over and over again, or I can chant and have a better connection with the deity that I'm working with if I do a chant. That's just me. And everybody find there. Some people are powerful prayers and they can pray down a spirit. They can conjure up a spirit through prayer. Some people will be able to chant up a spirit. They'll be able to chant and draw down the spirit. Everybody is different. So you just be patient with yourself and find your niche and find out what's worked for you. Don't rush yourself. Try a couple of things. If it don't work, try something else. But don't judge yourself or belittle yourself or berate yourself. You're just learning how to perfect your magic and tap into your ashe. I make up my own chants. Like if I'm doing a working, if I have did a working, I'll break down my spell into a short chant to help me help the ashe be stronger, the spell be stronger. So I just make up my own chants. I don't use any specific chant. I just make up my own. And I have my own book I keep all my stuff in. All my work is in. I'm trying to keep a lot of this stuff because I want my daughters to go back and be able to look at what I was doing. So I have a book where I keep, I document all rituals that I do, what day I did it, was it on a full moon, what spirit I work with, what ritual that I do, how did I open my circle, which deity did I call on. I try to keep it in order. And then it's almost like a scientific study, a scientific thing for me. Then I go back and I write how the ritual went. Look at the tarot reading, see if there's anything was revealed in the ritual through the tarot, because that's what you should be doing when you're doing working. You should be documenting everything that's going on in their ritual, because from the time you start their ritual to the end, you are communicating with spirit. So you want to document all that. Sometimes it don't make sense then. You come back later and it makes sense. I did readings like that. It'd be like I told you that reading with Papa Leg. I was like, this don't make sense. I know y'all telling me, but I don't get it. Sometimes you won't get it until later. So it's good to document them things, because sometimes spirits be giving us the answer and we just don't see it. It's just not there in our face like that. Yeah, just try to check, and what we're trying to do there, we're trying to unleash our own magic. We're trying to connect and link with those forces or energies we're trying to communicate with. Just keep doing it, because the more you're doing it, you're building up the ashe on your altar. The more you work on your altar, the more you're building ashe up on it. You can. It's some people that do that too. It's some people that do it that way too. You can. You can work it through your natal chart. You can also work with do planetary magic. You'll even go up to planetary magic. After you work with your ancestors a little while, you work with angels a little while, you can move on to planetary magic. Now, when if you haven't learned how to perfect casting a circle, you haven't perfect the lesser banishing ritual, you don't know how to clear an area with ceremony. I recommend that because that was one of the first things I learned. I learned the lesser banishing ritual. I learned how to start that ceremony and cast a circle. I learned how to call on my guardian angel while I do a ceremony. That's the first thing you want to do is learn how to protect your magic, protect your area by casting a circle. Because magic is first born in the mind. Now, when you learn, the more you do the lesser banishing ritual, the more it becomes second nature to you. And you'll be able to cast a circle in your mind. Okay. I would do that. And then the middle pillar exercise, I would definitely do that to strengthen my chakras and to help tap into my chi, my ashe. I would definitely do. And I think I don't know if the Orisha's got something like that. The handbook to the Yoruba. I don't know if they had something like that, but they did name the chakras in there. But I don't know if there is a chant in there. But anyway, you can do the middle pillar exercise. Call out those names to start strengthening your chakras and your energy. Just saying them. That's a good thing to chant too. At your altar to build up your ashe. So learn that middle pillar exercise. Learn the ceremony of the lesser banishing ritual, especially if you're going to be doing conjure, working with other spirits. That is the basic thing you should know how to cast a circle. Depends on how far you want to go in this. But that's a good thing to know how to work ceremonial basic magic. And there should be a lot of YouTube videos out there on it. It shouldn't be hard to find. You see a lot of examples of that. And you might feel stupid at first when you're first doing the lesser banishing ritual, but the thing you'll start to understand is that you'll feel your energy get stronger and stronger. Your imagination will get more vivid and vivid as you do the lesser banishing ritual. And that's what you want. We want to improve our imagination where it is clear as possible. That way you have a better link with the spiritual world, because the spiritual world lives in the imagination. The astral realm is the imagination. The astral realm is the dream astral realm. I hope that makes sense. And the more the clearer you can picture the middle pillar exercise, your chakras, the better you're going to be going into the astral realm, connecting with these spirits. And that's all it's doing. It's strengthening your astral senses, your spiritual senses. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And go slow, don't go fast. In this, you got all the time you need. This path can be really flashy, and you'll see people do different things. Stay in your line with your ancestors. Ask your ancestors for you to start doing shit other people doing, because your ancestors may not even want you to do that. I went to my ancestors and been happy to do something. They be like, hell, no, you can't do that. No, you can't. You know. So I always ask for your ancestors for permission, even when you finna do some work on somebody. Because I've had instances where people have pissed me off, and I'll be like, I'm finna get their ass. You know, I'm gonna get their motherfucking ass. And I go talk to my ancestors about it. That's the thing about a relationship with the ancestors. Sometimes when you talk to them about it, sometimes they'll take care of it for you, or they'll tell you what to do. And so I have went to the altar, been straight thinking I'm finna be gangster. You hear me? And they be like, nah, you need to go pray for that person because that person got some stuff going on with them. And I'll be like, for real? They be like, yeah. You don't need to do shit but go pray for them. And you better not do nothing else but pray for them. They need some help. So what you think you gonna be doing, sometimes you ain't gonna be doing it. I had times like that where I thought I was really finna learn something and put in some work, and they be like, you need to go pray for them. And you need to check yourself. Yeah, yeah. So it's not always, can't always. And then I've had times where people that did stuff to me, and I be wanting to put in work on them, and I be crying and snotting and mad, you know. And I'm just like a big baby. When I go to my ancestors, I'm just like a 2-year-old. You know, I just go to them and talk to them about everything. You know, I just talk. And everything that's going on with me, I talk to them about. And so I had this one person that everybody's like they made me mad. And I told the ancestors, like, I want to put his ass, I want to do something to his ass. I said, but ancestors, if he didn't mean to be malicious, I'm cool. But if he was trying to be malicious towards me and mean, move him out my way because I don't even want him around me. Within a week or two, that boy got fired from his job right there in front of me. I didn't have to do nothing to him. I didn't have to do no work. I don't think I had to do is go to my altar, express how I feel, how that person made me feel. I wasn't sure if he was trying to be malicious or mean to me on purpose, or, you know, I didn't know. But like I told my ancestors, if he was, please remove him because I don't want him around me no more. They really hurt my feelings. And my ancestors just got rid of him. I didn't have to do anything but just talk to them. So a lot of times it just take a conversation with them. Or sometimes they'll tell you to get this here and go do that and do this here. And it worked. Mine ain't hidden mine right there in the living room. Mine's right here in the living room. But I don't put my altar on camera for everybody to see. That I don't do. If you see my altar on the camera, it's by accident. You would never see me show any workings on here. I would never. That's sacred. That's their house. That's their personal space. That's not my thing. Some people do it. Some people don't. But I got my ancestor altar right here in the living room. And it's no touching. It ain't none of that going on there. You know. So mine's in the living room. It's the heart. To me, it's the heart of my house. It's the heartbeat of my house. So, you know, I don't mind. I just don't show my working on there, and I don't show people my altar. Okay. Does anybody have any more questions about Hoodoo before I close out? Like I said, we got some plenty specials going on. We are readings. My readings are 30% off all our readings, so you'll get a good deal on our readings. We do have options to pay. You can split your payments up. We have that option too. Like I said, we have some great spiritual kits. I don't think nobody's going to beat our deals on our spiritual kits. So we got some spiritual kits going on there, and we have 30% off on all our readings. So take advantage of that stuff, especially with, you know, these good deals. Everybody looking for a good deal. But if anybody have any more questions for me regarding Hoodoo, and the most important thing, I want you to always look at that ancestors water, because they're going to You're going to see signs in the ancestor water. So if that ancestor's water is not clear, they're trying to tell you something. Let me give it to you. Here's the website right there. I just posted it in the chat for you. Just posted it in the chat. And you should also find it on our community page where I post pictures and stuff. It should be over there too. And if you have any questions about how to use a product, as sort of like our uncrossing and protection oil or peace oil or anything like that, I'll be happy to, tell you how to use those oils or any of our products. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll try to probably show up again next weekend for you guys. I don't know what you want to talk about, but you let me know in the comments what you like with the cover. Do you want to go over hoodoo again? That's really a wide subject to cover. If you want to go over hoodoo again, if you want to talk about a particular subject, let me know, because I'll be happy to go over those subjects with you. And if you want to follow us and learn, if you want to support our ministry, Cosmic Mother Ministries, where we talk about everything divine feminine, everything. I don't like to talk about it on this part. I'm glad somebody was like, I want to talk about hoodoo. I don't like to talk about it on here because, I don't want to make me feel uncomfortable. Again, I got to be respectful. So, but if you want to follow our Divine Feminine Ministry, you can follow us on Cosmic Mother Ministries here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Okay, if you want to support there. It's my favorite subject too. I learned a lot about it. I got so, I've been doing this thing a long time. So yeah, it's my favorite subject too. It's so diverse. Okay, people. Well, thank you for being here with me tonight. And if you have any more questions, you had a particular topic you want to talk about for our next live, you let me know and we can talk about it. I thank you so much for being here today, engaging, asking questions. I really appreciate that. So if you want to know anything in specific, you want a specific topic you want to talk about, don't be shy. Put it in comments and we will cover it. You're welcome. You're welcome, Helen, Madam. You guys have a good night.